Why is there Polaroid shit in the fridge?
Oh, because film expires, but it stays longer if you keep it in the fridge.
It's like that. It's like bread.
I mean, kind of, yeah. Except minus the light. But yeah, that's why there's film in the fridge.
Okay.
Because it was part of that thing that Lucy gave me, the little thing that attaches to the phone. You can print.
Oh, and it prints your own shit. Yeah.
I don't have the thing because I left it at her house, but I have the film, which is like 2 years expired already. But I figured it might print out pretty decently.
Might have to fix this again.
Did you break it?
No, remember.
Oh, but hey, we have the tools to fix it now.
Yeah, remember it broke the last time?
We actually had to take it apart this time and fix it. What did we need last time?
We needed an Allen wrench, and then that's really it. You just needed an Allen wrench, and you like readjust it. Anyway, who cares? Okay, dude, I'm so fucking glad we're in the new spot. Yeah, for everyone listening on Spotify and stuff, we are in a new studio. Thank God. Because, dude, don't get me wrong. I enjoy living with our friends. There were some iffy times there for all of us, but I love living with my friends. I love fucking David and Springer. But that fucking neighborhood, dude. Like,
I hated living with all you guys.
Why?
I hated it.
It was so much fun.
It was so dirty.
Oh, okay. Well, okay.
I am such a clean friend.
Okay.
That's the only reason I hated it. Besides that, it was cool.
Yeah, no.
I had a great time.
I accepted the constant coat of dust.
You accepted it. I gave up.
I had to.
There's a difference there. You accepted it. I just gave up. I gave up on cleaning. And I was like, it's never ending.
Well,
it's just never ending here.
I agree. Yeah, that was fucking stupid.
There you go. Hit it. Hit it again. Be sure to get it all.
Well, it feels good, man. I haven't been able to because of the bronchitis and RSV and.
Yeah, so there's a solution. Let's just inhale more shit and go along. From a dirty mouthpiece that you probably have never cleaned.
Yeah, I wiped down with Clorox.
The inside of it?
No. No. Of course fucking not. No, but we lucked out with this spot, dude. We're paying a fucking arm and a leg for it comparatively, but it's kind of worth it. Especially considering, like, again, I had that realization, I think, a week ago or so, that I'm getting old because I'm really excited about freeway access. I'm excited about it. I'm like, well, because I don't have to drive through the fucking ghetto to get anywhere now. I don't get stuck. Like this morning when I went to work, I was running late. I just hopped on the freeway and got there. I didn't have to wade through the ghetto and getting almost. Well, I know. There was one time I was actually going back from work, and it was like something off fucking that you see on Instagram or some shit. These idiots were yelling at each other, car to car, and this kid's little fucking Mustang rear-ended me. And then he just fucking peeled off and went away. I was like, what the fuck? And I look, thankfully, there's no marks or nothing on the bumper. Like, literally, like, signed from act of God. But, yeah, I'm just sick of the horrible drivers. The big, like, especially if I were coming home late at night. Bunch of drunk drivers all the time. And not even, like, I think every neighborhood in Albuquerque at one time or another, if you stay there long enough, you're going to go to sleep to gunshots. Like, that's a thing everywhere. It's even in the Heights now. But, like, automatic rifles and shit. Like cartel shit going on. Like, cartel automatic fire at least 2 times a week throughout the night. And like, you would hope by 6 months and they'd all be dead.
Oh, and then the 4th of July?
Oh, no, okay, so the 4th of July sucked.
Like
it was
war zone.
It was New Year's that sucked.
Oh, it was New Year's, yeah.
It was New Year's because me and David were at the house, and right at 12, all the gunshots started. There weren't even fireworks. It was just gunshots, and then some fucking idiot shoots out the transformer, and so me and David are sitting in my room in the dark, clutching our rifles, starting to freeze a little bit because it was like 13 outside. Yeah, that shit sucked. I'm proud to announce that the podcast is now officially sponsored by the fine people over at Chop Chili Company. Guys, this is some of the best chili you can get here in the state of New Mexico, and they are online as well as in stores. They can be found at Smith's, Albertsons, Sprouts,
John Brooks, and Lowe's Corner Market. They have 3 amazing flavors that you see here, and they also have frozen green chili that you can get online. Go on over to the website, chopchilico.com, and get yourself some amazing chili today. Podcast is now officially sponsored by the amazing people over at High Desert Relief, a premier herbal destination right here in the state of New Mexico. They have extremely well-trained and knowledgeable staff that are more than happy to help you find what you're looking for or try something that you maybe have never thought of. They have 2 locations here in Albuquerque, 1 in Santa Fe. All 3 will be listed right here and in the description of this episode. All 3 offering legendary products at absolutely legendary prices, including this awesome merch that they were so kind enough to gift me here. All of this can be found at all 3 of their locations. Again, big thank you to the guys over at HDR for supporting. Now back to the episode. I was just minding my own business building a Lego, and all the power goes out. All the fucking power goes out. Oh, and then again, I love David, but his stupid little retard dog, Crypto. We never have to deal with that thing again.
That dog hated you.
And that's fine.
From like day one, it made eye contact with you and said, I fucking hate this fucking Mexican pig.
Like, for people listening, like, you would think that I knew that dog from like its birth and just beat it and never stopped beating it until David adopted it, and it was like, oh shit, he's back.
It was so scared of him.
It was terrified of me. Like,
I heard his voice, walked into a room, he would just destroy everything in his path trying to get away. Like, there's skittish dogs, and those skittish dogs don't bug me, but what bugged me was that he would claw your feet, he would snip at you, and he would barrel through anything to get away from this man. And it was the fucking absolute worst.
Not discriminatory either. Like, it was like Scooby-Doo on ketamine.
Yeah.
Like, he was
on
slow,
the tile, because he just fucking start clawing.
Slow and fast at the same time. I didn't fucking understand it.
Fucking worst.
Yeah, it was stupid.
It's a good dog, just besides that.
I'm hoping that if and when we get Springer back in here, we can now catch him on the way up to, or the way down from work, rather. Because now they live like 30 minutes away.
Well, he gets off in the morning.
Oh, well, we'll figure it out. I want to get him back in here. But this is like, it's quiet. There's not doors opening and slamming shut. This house is actually fucking insulated, so we aren't hearing everything else. And we live in a quiet neighborhood.
Oh, quiet neighborhood. There's not mariachi music every night till 2 a.m.
Literally every fucking
outside
night.
my window.
Or like zooming ATVs and zooming cars outside, and
Stray dogs getting into my trash.
not even just getting into the trash, but like ripping all the bags open.
Yeah.
Like all of the bags open, and then leaving. Like, I remember one weekend, it was one of those weekends where all of you were gone, not because you went on a trip, but because like a mixture of work, and then like Dave was out on a hunting thing, Springer was at work, you were at work, I think, yeah, because the whole weekend was free, and I remember they'd gotten, it had to have been like, yeah, it was Friday afternoon or evening, whatever. They got into the trash. And it was a Friday night that I didn't leave the house. And so there's nobody going in and out of the house for a long time. So I don't end up leaving the house until Saturday at like 4 or some shit like that. And I walk outside and this horrific fucking smell hits me. And yeah, it's just everywhere. Absolutely fucking everywhere. Anyway, I actually wrote a couple things down that I found today I thought were interesting. I want to run them by you.
Kind of rude for you to be on your phone.
Yeah, I know. Okay. So, did you see what Abbott is doing with the Texas border? Have you been following that? Okay. So, Biden, Biden and all their, or he's not even him because he's not at the fucking helm. Biden's administration decided, obviously, that they aren't going to do shit with the border, and they're just leaving it wide open to get assaulted by illegal immigrants. And so, did you see like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, that they started sending the National Guard down there to deal with so they sent the National Guard down there to deal with the migrants. And and they're trying to make those outlawed too. You see that?
Sponsor us.
Dude, fuck. If I got a Zen sponsor, I don't even think they'd have to pay me all that much money. Just pay me enough money to maybe quit my job for a year, and then just a lifetime supply of Zens.
I want to find a way for the Zen to sponsor our department. Because, God, so many of us use that shit.
Dude, that would not fly in our government. Well, maybe it would. I mean, they made weed legal. They're decriminalizing mushrooms here pretty soon.
No, because it's a tobacco product.
No, it's not. It's nicotine.
It's a tobacco product still, though.
That's so stupid.
It's under big tobacco.
Right. And I never understood why they raised the shit to 21, like for tobacco and nicotine. I did not understand that. Because they ended up doing that, right? Like 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
Yeah. They raised it to 21, and their thing was because the brain doesn't stop developing until you're 21. So it's still developing.
It's still developing till you're 25.
Yeah, like, I don't fucking know, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, if anything, and this obviously goes against most of my early 20s, but if they're going to raise any age limits on a substance, it should be booze. I'm sorry. Like, booze unsupervised until you're 25.
That's, hey. Doesn't matter. Because you're still going to get into them.
No, they're still going to get it anyway, and we'll never do it, but out of any of the European cultural traditions, that is one we should adopt, where it's families are encouraged to introduce their kids to alcohol at a young age in a safe environment. Because that's what you have a fucking glass of wine when you're 12 years old.
So you want
over there.
Up the age or down the age?
No. Like unsupervised, you can go out and get it by yourself. You don't need a parent or adult. I can see the argument for 25 years old. But supervised, fuck it. Parents' discretion, empower the families. Now, granted, I say that living in a state with a huge meth problem. And one of the most viral fucking things off this podcast is a 14-year-old getting heroin from their mom and shit. But that's going to happen anyway. Anyway, so
the vagrants are gone too.
So they started using the National Guard to seal off the border, and it started hitting the news because the FBI showed up, and there's images of the Texas National Guard like pushing away the FBI, like I don't think they were pointing guns or anything, but they were like threatening them to get off the border.
The fuck?
Yeah, and so that caused a big thing, and then so Abbott released.
That's a good question, though.
What?
Who's got jurisdiction?
Well, okay, so here's what happened. So Greg Abbott, he releases this press statement, and basically what it is he's declaring under the Texas Constitution, he's declaring a state of invasion, and because a part of the federal Constitution is that the federal government should not willingly allow an attack or invasion on a state. Ooh. So then Greg Abbott released this governor order, what the fuck they call it, saying, hey, I'm declaring a state of invasion, and the Texas National Guard now has control of the Texas border due to President Biden's administration. He cited all the annotations in the Constitution and shit. So, yeah. Well, he can't do it for Arizona or anything like that, or New Mexico.
Oh, I know. That just means that everyone that's going through Texas is now going to go left.
Fuck them. Okay. Then honestly, dude, that is one of the things that I agreed with Vivek the most, Ramaswamy, was that we should be using our military.
Well, who's left of Texas?
To seal off the border. Us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, when I was in the Guard.
Oh, when are we moving again, brother?
When I was in the Guard, a bunch of my buddies were on that border mission, and they loved it. And it made them a ton of money. They loved being down there. It quickly turned into a COVID mission, obviously, when the pandemic hit. But, I mean, there's not a net negative.
Have you seen The first Machete. You know the opening part of the movie where the governor of Texas is fucking like shooting Mexicans and like using that in his re-election campaign.
Yeah.
That's exactly.
Because he's played by
what that
Charlie
reminds me of.
Sheen, right?
Is
Isn't
it
he?
Charlie Sheen?
Yeah, I think it's Charlie Sheen.
No,
as
it's
the president.
I thought it was Robert De Niro.
Let me see. I'm looking that up. I thought it was Charlie Sheen as the president in
Look it up,
Machete.
Jamie, bring that up.
Let's see. Machete. President.
It's not the president. It's Machete, Texas governor.
Oh, right,
senator,
right.
Or whatever the fuck it was. I think it's a senator.
No, okay. So in the sequel, Charlie Sheen plays the president.
Yeah, I think
And
it's Robert De Niro.
Yeah. Let's see.
I could be totally wrong.
Let's see. It's not coming up. I don't know why. But
I'll find it. You suck at that.
yeah, I know.
No offense.
That's why I don't do it. Oh yeah, you're right. It is Robert De Niro.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. It's Robert De Niro. That's funny. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think we should be using our military to protect our own country. And if we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of $1 million to send to Ukraine, we can spend some money on the border
Billions.
and billions we can seal that shit up. I'm sorry. And I know that comes from a place of privilege, and I know that's like the left's argument right now. It's like, oh, well, it's easy for Americans to say, come here legally, but then at the same time, you got to be kind of cold. Like, hey, the world's not fair. We shouldn't suffer because your country's suffering. Now 2 countries are suffering. Would it be better if one country suffered?
I don't know. I'm like kind of in between. I think definitely like fill the gaps, right? Make it more secure. But also I think they should open up the border more so it's easier to get in and out. If they still do your proper screenings and stuff, but
If they can,
I think it should be like more of a revolving door instead of just like a.
if they can fix their issues, sure. Because then the other big argument,
Because you have to have one thing to have the other.
right?
Like,
And well, the other big argument, though, goodness gracious, the other big argument is that there's families coming over, but now we know from like eyewitness accounts and reports coming out of the Texas Guard and like footage. Jesus, we're finding out now that most of the people coming to the border aren't even Mexican. They're like Venezuelan and whatever. They're all like southern Latin America, Chilean and shit. And then the other one is that they're not like families. They're just a bunch of military-age males.
Yeah, it's weird.
They're just getting shuttled up there. It's military-age males and trafficked children. That's what's going to the border, not a bunch of fucking just helpless families that want a better life. And even if it was that, I'm sorry. Like, we need a fucking border. That's the whole point of a country. Like, I would rather, again, this sounds cold, but I would rather us take care of our homeless people first than everybody else's fucking homeless people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
No, I don't know. And then people talk about like, well, okay, how do I word this? Like, so with the whole Israel and Palestine thing going on, and people are saying, or like the neighboring countries, like, no, we won't take the Palestinian refugees, right? It's like, well, yeah, they see all the trouble that's being caused in that part of the country where they're coming from. Why the fuck are we going to allow those problems to come in too?
Yeah.
Because where that argument falls apart for like the left, if they argue about shit, against shit like that, it's like, okay, they love giving out the statistics. Giving out the statistics, I know. That wasn't a good idea. Love giving out the statistics of like most of the people that Israel's killing in the bombings are women and children. So it's like, okay, that means that all that are left are military-age males. And where the fuck are they going? That's exactly why those neighboring countries won't take them. I don't know, dude. I think a country should take care of itself. I've been thinking about this a lot. I think a country needs to take care of itself before they can take care of other people. I really believe that. Am I wrong?
No.
Like,
no, I think you're right.
Like, why is it when a plane crashes, you put your oxygen mask on first and not the other person's? Because if you fucking go out, then now there's 2 people out instead of 1.
I don't know, man. It's like a weird post-World War II globalization thing where we have to fix everyone's problems.
We should have a World War I policy where we just foot one country with the bill and tell them to get fucked.
I don't know.
I don't think the next Hitler is going to come out of Latin America, so I think we'll be okay.
I don't know. I think it's crazy that people are like the left is. I don't know. I don't even know, man. It's just weird to me. It's weird. It's weird seeing like the LGBTQ community being like, save the Palestinians, and like they would stone you in the street.
Yeah, they would fuck you up.
Like they wouldn't hesitate.
According to their religion, everything about your life is haram.
Yeah.
Everything about your life.
So, I don't know. I mean, it's just weird seeing that, but I mean, support what you want to support, I guess.
And I gotta be honest, dude, I think this is like, my brain goes two ways. So we're obviously putting the tinfoil hats on a little bit, right?
Yeah, for sure.
My brain goes two ways, and this is also influenced because of the fact of the bit that I'm writing about Jews. But, well, no, because it's like I'm writing about stereotypes and shit like that, right? And it's a conspiracy, stereotype conspiracy that the Jews run the media.
And the weather. Don't forget the weather.
Or the weather, right. But if the Jews run the media, my brain goes two different ways, right? Well, the first one is they obviously don't, because if they did, they'd have everyone supporting Israel in the left, right? That's the first one. But then my second route goes, well, maybe they're taking a page out of George Bush's book. And wait, does that make sense? No, that doesn't make sense at all because nobody would like him anyway. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, this shows right now they don't control the media. The way my brain was going was like maybe it's a false flag thing, but it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Because then if it did, and if it does make sense, and if it was a false flag, it's the most failed false flag in the world because they got attacked. Because that was something that I was buying into a little bit when the attack first happened on October 7th, because there's like the stuff coming out about, oh, they were warned by Egypt and they knew that 10 days before the attack, there was a big meeting in Lebanon where like Hamas was getting the okay from their leaders to go attack. And just like we had known that Osama was going to attack us, and we did nothing about it to raise support for the country so we could go attack them. And then everyone loved the country for a little bit. And it took years for people to like in mass. It took years, well over a decade for people to figure out, oh, maybe they don't hate us because of our freedom. And maybe, there weren't any WMDs in Iraq, that type of shit.
Yeah.
So that like over a decade's worth of realizing happened almost immediately because there's people even in Israel that are like, hey, we need to stop bombing Gaza. You have a call coming in. Is that the pizza? All right, and we're back.
Pineapple goes on half the pizza. Half the whole pizza. End of the argument. Argument ends right there.
So again, I recognize that we're having this conversation from like one of the ultimate places of fucking American privilege.
Yeah.
We're sitting in a podcast studio with, let's round up and say like $8,000 worth of equipment with everything in here. But again, that's not fair. And I don't know, I'm all for equality and I'm all for helping other people out. But just go back to my other argument, like we shouldn't be helping other people if we're already suffering. And that's not talking about the other millions of issues that are going on in this country right now. Like and I like this argument a lot, and I hear it a lot from like the middle libertarian shit. Our people are so well off here in America that the major national conversation is whether or not gender exists. No, for real though. You know what I mean? Like that's the national conversation is if you cut your dick off, are you still a man? If you add a dick, are you a woman or are you a man now? What is a woman? That's a question. We're worried about misgendering people and pronouns. Like when our society has gotten to the point where that's our topic of whatever, not like we just got ransacked by a gang of thugs or we're getting bombed by a rival country every day. Like imagine, like for this scenario to happen, we'd have to not have the biggest and most powerful military by at least sevenfold. And also, we'd have to be a very poor country. But let's imagine that Sonora was bombing the shit out of, not even Sonora, let's say fucking Tijuana, managed to bomb the shit and raid El Paso. Just over and over and over and over. And the people of Mexico are praising it. Then we got some issues. We got some problems. But when our biggest national conversation is the orange man is still bad, he's going to bring upon the destruction of the world, even though that's actively happening under Grandpa. And do genders exist? Come the fuck on.
I don't know, man. I'm just going with the flow, brother. Honestly.
Okay, so you'll get a kick out of this. So, here's a good question. Okay, about the Texas thing. So, when I saw the Texas National Guard bumping off the feds, right? And they were like standing their ground pretty much. I saw that and I was like, okay, that is how civil wars begin. Very quietly, right? Like, I look at that and it's like, okay, if they keep doing that, if Abbott still stands his ground, and let's take it a little step further. Let's say a Fed dies, gets shot by a guardsman on purpose, not like an accidental whatever, like on purpose. There's a scuffle and the guardsman won, right? Okay. What? And then the Biden's administration goes, hey, Texas has betrayed the country. Texas has caused treason. Does that start a civil war?
I mean, by all technicality, yeah.
Right?
I mean, it would.
Like, how does a modern civil war start? If it were to happen, how do you think it goes down? Like, how do you think it begins? Not like
just like that.
Is there any other?
Much.
I think, is there any other scenario that you would think is?
No, because it'd be a federal entity, federal at the time, like overreaching or overstepping or whatever they're doing, or doing what they're supposed to be doing, and then the state being like, "No, you're not allowed to do that," and then an act of violence happens against that federal entity, or reversed role, or the role's reversed, right?
I don't know. Do you think anybody comes to Texas's aid if a guardsman gets killed by a federal agent?
Texas.
Right, but do you think anybody else, like a neighboring state, sympathetic state in the South?
I would imagine maybe.
Because I don't think they do. I think it only happens if a guardsman kills a Fed, because then that's on the table. But like in a revolutionary kind of way, that's on the table. You know what I mean? If a federal agent kills a guardsman, that's on the table in a totalitarian way, and it's an act of suppression. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's a good question. I don't know.
I think it happens if a Fed dies. Because then it's like, okay, people kind of get riled up. People kind of get like, oh shit, we can do this now. We can fucking, hey Feds, get out of Alabama now. You know what I mean? Like that type of shit. Like, have you been to Alabama? Bro, no. I went there in October to visit family, and I went to that fucking Crimson Tide football game. Bro, it is a fucking cult. It's a religion, dude. All the chicks look the same. All the dudes look the same. They're wearing more or less the same shit.
Well, it was a football game.
No, I'm just saying, like, they all look the same. It's like they're at a fucking rally. It's a cult, dude. Like, oh, I get how Trump won now. Like, I understand. Holy fuck. And I kind of see that happening, whereas, like, the South gets sympathetic a little bit, and people kind of start going, hey, I think we're allowed to, because that one video went viral. I forget what rally, or like what, not rally, but like what meeting or what conference it was or speech it was, where they're doing the Q&A with the crowd, and the guy's like for real, when do we get to use the guns? Like, when are we allowed to do that? And
Yeah.
I think it's after a Fed gets killed. And now that movie Civil War is coming out in 2 months by Alec Garland. I'm pretty excited for that shit. Okay, I had another one. Oh, this is also on treason, by the way. You'll get a kick out of this.
Oh, I'm excited now.
So, a U.S. sailor sold secrets to China about radar systems and how they're used in Okinawa, Japan. His punishment and he was paid $15,000 by China. The punishment that he's getting from the military, like the UCMJ and shit, is okay. So there's a fine involved. Okay, there's a fine. He got $15,000. How much do you think he was fined by the government?
Oh, I don't know, like 200,000.
Way lower.
Oh, way lower.
Way lower.
2,000.
That's kind of close. He got paid, or fund, or he got. Oh my god. He got fined $5,500.
That's it.
He got a fine of $5,500
Dishonorable discharge too, right?
and 27-month sentence in Leavenworth.
So dishonorable discharge, fined.
Which really means nothing anymore, by the way.
It kind of does.
To who?
Any job you're trying to get?
I don't know, dude.
It's a felony.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Is it an actual, like, by law, like civilian law felony?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
I heard it was like a felony, like the way people looked at it, but I think that's changing. Personally.
I thought it was a felony. I got to look into it more, but.
Is a dishonorable discharge a felony?
There you go.
No.
Oh.
No.
So it's just like a felony.
It's like a felony, but I don't think a lot of people feel that way anymore. I don't think people care. I really
I think
don't.
depending where you're at, people care.
Like, if you go to a place where it's a veteran doing the hiring or a veteran-owned business, sure, but like...
Or anywhere that really, like, supports veterans or the military.
Dude, we were talking about the donation thing before we got started, man. No corporations give a fuck about the military. Come on. None of them do. They care about the military as much as they care about homeless, as much as they actually care about kids with cancer, as much as they actually care about BLM, as much as they care about trans. And
That's fair.
like, I really do believe, like, the whole supporting our troops thing has fallen right into the virtue signaling nonsense. Again, unless it's a veteran-owned company or a company that predominantly has veterans working there, no. Like, do I think Caliber supports the troops? Probably. Do I think Target does with their fucking
Okay, well, hear me out.
clothing that peddles trans shit to children?
Would you hire a dishonorable discharge?
No, because I'm a veteran. And I care about that shit.
By your company standards.
You know what's fucked up? I technically can't discriminate against it.
That's what you see what I'm saying? Like,
Nobody cares.
so I'm now going to your side though. So like
Yeah.
nobody actually cares. Like, but you, because you're a veteran.
I cannot discriminate against absolutely anything.
Right.
Technically. Like, if they were,
So if you weren't a veteran and you were in the corporate position you're at still,
they wouldn't blink an eye at it.
Right.
They would not blink
I
an
guess
eye.
depending on what it is though, right?
I mean,
Because you can still be, because depending on what happened, you can still be tried civilly for that.
right.
So depending on how bad it was. So if it was just something against the military, like this, for instance, then yeah, that's dishonorable discharge.
Well, if you kill somebody,
Yeah, but if you kill somebody,
like, if you can, no, let's say like you're at Fort Hood and you killed one of your friends.
yeah, you get dishonorable discharge, Leavenworth, and then you also get tried when you get back. By
Exactly. So I
civilian
wonder
court.
if this guy gets tried in civilian court.
For what?
Exactly. That's my point.
For treason? That's a national,
Right.
it's a federal thing.
Right. So if he gets, a felony through the civilian court, sure, but just getting a dishonorable discharge, or even like,
Was treason considered a felony?
it should be, yeah, I think
Right.
so. But like, let's not even use dishonorable. Let's just use less than honorable or discharge under less than honorable conditions or whatever it is, right?
Yeah. No one cares.
Nobody gives a fuck.
No.
Nobody cares.
As
Like,
long as you can semi-explain what happened.
like all the people that just stop showing up to drill and they eventually get a general discharge, nobody gives a fuck about that. Nobody cares at all.
Nope.
Anyway, but when I initially said that, what came out of your mouth? Hang him, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Personally, I think that if you are caught and accused, that's what's fucked up with the UCMJ is that you're guilty to proven innocent most of the time. Right?
You are. No, you are.
99% of the time.
You're jailed and
Yeah.
you're booked and jailed until you're proven innocent.
Exactly. So, but if you are in the military, or even if you're like a civilian contracted with the military, in any capacity, and you get 110% caught doing treasonous acts, especially right now when people are kind of just waking, like, I don't know. I find myself in this category sometimes where I'm just waking up in the morning waiting to hear that nukes are about to fly off. You know what I mean? If you're caught doing that, public execution. As an example. No, actually, I take that back. I think, no, if you're a natural born citizen, this is going to sound really fucked up. Maybe I'm a little stoned. If you are a natural born citizen in the military, I think Leavenworth for the rest of your life.
For treason?
Yeah. Yes, because you did the one thing you're not supposed to do.
What about that one dude? The guy that's having sanction in Russia right now, or sanctuary.
Oh, Snowden?
Snowden. What about Snowden?
That dude's a hero. Because that wasn't treason.
That's treason.
No. The treason that this guy did was selling our secrets to our enemies.
Right.
And like letting our enemies know, like, hey, here's our, you know, that shit that we pride ourselves on? Like the reason why we don't have healthcare? Because we can knock out any bomb in the sky. Yeah, here's where it is and potentially how to disarm it. Now you're putting other lives in danger. What Snowden did put no lives at danger.
Okay, fair.
Wait, let me take that. Wait. No, I take that back because I think people might want to fact check me this. But I think, no, wait. I think he did give away aliases. No, he didn't. Of CIA. Somebody gave away aliases of CIA agents.
I don't think that was Snowden.
I forget who. That wasn't part of Snowden's thing. I think Snowden's thing was the government spying. Only the government spying, right? That put nobody's lives at risk but politicians.
Yeah, Snowden leaked surveillance files by the from the NSA.
Right, yeah. There's someone like him that gave away CIA agents' locations and shit. Anyway, my point is that Snowden didn't put any lives in danger. He just exposed the government for the shady shit they were doing and held them accountable, which is a very American thing to do. Like that, I think that dude's a fucking national treasure, and it's shitty that he's having to seek asylum in one of our nation's enemies because of what he did. No, he did the right thing. This guy put other Americans in danger, especially servicemen overseas. Yeah. Right, so that's different. So I think that if you're an American citizen, you basically your life ends there. We put you in Leavenworth and you rot. If you are an immigrant in the military that got your citizenship, especially if you are selling secrets to your country of origin, friendly or not, if you're selling secrets to our country, because then let's say like a British guy was selling secrets back to the UK to like whatever terror cells they have over there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Or like rogue factions of London's government or whatever. That sounds like a fucking Jack Reacher novel. But like, you know, selling secrets to things about to go rogue or some shit. I think you should be publicly executed. We let you into this country. We made you a part of the military, and you betrayed us. You now die in the streets.
Nah.
I think so.
Nah.
As an example.
Because then you lose the public's favor.
Yeah.
That's just facts. Like, you just would.
Do you ever bring public executions back? Is there any public execution that everyone can get behind?
It depends who you ask.
Generally speaking.
Yeah, it depends who you ask, though.
I'm asking you.
No. I think our country's so divided that no. I don't think we could. It would have to be like a big bad from somewhere far away. That like the whole country could rally behind, be like, oh yeah, fuck Hitler. Kill him, you know? But like anybody that's like would deserve a public execution now. I mean, maybe Jeffrey Epstein, but he already killed himself, allegedly.
Allegedly.
So like, you know?
Okay, so pedophiles, do they get publicly executed?
Oh yeah, 100%. Because the small minority that would be against it is more pedophiles, or people that like them, right? So you just find them out. You know, anyone that doesn't support this public execution of this pedophile, you're next. You know, I stand by that. Fuck them. You twiddle a child, you die. Like that's just that.
Because what's the movement?
Castration, then death.
What's the movement against them or for them rather?
I don't fucking know.
The MAPS movement. You've heard of that, right? The minors against people, no, minor attractive persons,
Oh yeah, kill them all.
right?
Kill them all.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
Death.
I really do think bringing back public executions for shit like that would help set this country back. I said it right. It was some kind of law and order. Like, we need to draw the line somewhere.
Yeah. What do you consider pedophilia though?
Fucking a kid.
All right. What's your definition of a child though?
Well, isn't there like different definitions based on the age range? Like pedophilia is like the really young kids, like 6 years old or some shit. And there's like blah, 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 affiliate where it's like a teenager, but they're not 18 and shit like that.
I don't know. You have to look that up.
I think it's one of those things like...
Because I think legal definition of a child's right. Anyone that's a minor.
Right.
So what do you do with the 19-year-old that fucked 17-year-old?
What's that? They're convicted in court of like, actually doing it. Like a little kid. That type of shit.
Well, what's a little kid? To a 60-year-old, little kid's 17. See, I'm not trying to support it, but like...
But that 60-year-old should die. I think if they willingly fucked a minor and you're 60 years old...
What if you didn't know? What if she was like, yeah, I'm 18?
Well, that's why it needs to get proven in court. Right. I don't know how you prove that in court. Well, that's what's scary, dude, is like, as AI improves, you're going to get deep fakes, and you're going to get voice recordings that are fake. That would be crazy if... in a case like that, even if it's like an extreme case where it's like some guy is really getting accused of assaulting a child.
Person fucks underage AI.
No, you idiot. Like, what if they're getting convicted of it and they're going through trial, and in the trial of there's like an AI recording of their voice admitting it. And the prosecutor's argument is like, we got this recording from his friend, and he's telling him this in confidence, but we blah, 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 blah. That could be a thing, too. Maybe the existence of AI means that public executions can never happen again.
Well, because the robots would just kill us all anyways.
Well, dude, like, I'm sorry. When we have so many great sci-fi movies about robots taking over and killing us, and then we're still creating Skynet and shit.
I don't think it would happen.
I think it will.
I don't think so.
Here's where I think it happens. I think it happens because AI realizes what a bother and what a nuisance and what just a hindrance humans are, how many flaws we have, what we're really driven by. I think it goes, we're the better species now, and we have to move on from you people. I think that really happens if we don't integrate with AI like this. Like the Neuralink shit, bionic legs, bionic eye. If we don't...
I was going to say, I think that's what happens first.
Right, but if that doesn't happen and AI advances quicker, like AI is advancing... There's a really good podcast that Rogan did with these guys that are these people that are... one of them did The Social Dilemma, and they're like campaigning against AI. And not against AI, but they're campaigning for better oversight. And they're talking about it. And... they were like, yeah, we've evolved quicker. AI has taught itself quicker. Like its evolution in self-taught things over the last 4 months has been quicker than the jump from classic like bring telephone to smartphone. It's been quicker than that.
Well, yeah, because we already have the technology.
But that's my point. So it's an accelerant and multiplies itself. So I think that potentially AI gets smarter and it gets to the point that it thinks we're the problem quicker than us getting to a point where we integrate to a point where it doesn't want to kill us. But then even with this argument, if we're saying that it doesn't want to kill us, then it can make its own decision. Like, it has this reasoning power. It has its.
So I think what happens, not that. I don't think the whole Skynet thing's like super realistic. I just don't think we have the infrastructure for that. And it would take years for an AI to build that, right? Like to make metal machines and fucking...
But that's not what Skynet was, though. Skynet was already made.
Yeah, so Skynet was already made, and then it used the nuclear defense systems to, blow up the world, whatever, and then it made robots somehow after that, through the carnage. Anyways, I think what happens first...
No, Skynet had the soldiers. That's what I'm saying. Like, all the robots and, like, the advanced weaponry you see... That was already there, but it was just controlled by this AI. But the AI went rogue and used everything we built against us, including the nukes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Still don't think so. I think what happens is, I think people integrate with technology so far that it becomes like a class issue, like almost like a different movie, right? That's been made where like the upper class, the 1%, the people that have money are technically and biologically superior because they have integrated software in their brains and fucking in their bodies. And we use, what's that? Fucking CRISPR.
Yeah.
CRISPR's a big one. We talked about that a little while ago.
Dude, I think
the CRISPR thing happens.
I think CRISPR gets beat out by AI.
I think AI uses CRISPR.
Ooh, see, it gets beaten by AI and it gets used.
Yeah, well,
you're so right.
Obviously, because CRISPR's a tool, right? And AI technically is a tool, but if AI gets to the point where it self-reasons, right, AI can use CRISPR. So AI uses CRISPR, or people use AI uses CRISPR, and then that just kind of integrates, right? AI somehow finds a way to integrate itself with the human mind, and then there's no distinction between the two, right? It's just your superior being now. So it goes one of two ways. One, either everyone becomes a superior being because AI relegates itself. It's like, oh, I'll make all of humanity the same. And you get those fucking, oh, down here, the fucking motherfucker, the guys fighting, you know, the superior AI beings, right? Or just getting left behind. And then it becomes a huge class issue.
Ex Machina
kind of style. Or it becomes like a, so yeah, one of two ways. One, either like AI integrates everybody, uses CRISPR, like everyone gets like, we become a superior being, right? We evolve. That's our next step in evolution. Like we evolve into a superior being. We now integrate with technology like so far, so efficiently that like we now do whatever we want, right? There's no war because everyone's hooked, like integrated, right? To the same kind of, everyone knows what's going on. That's the good version. The bad version becomes like a fucking, I don't want that. I don't want fucking the AI in my brain kind of thing. And then you have you have this, the world clash.
Well, that happens anyway.
Yeah, superior beings, but on two different scales though. Because one different scale, you have, people like just accepting it, right? They're like, oh, this is the next step, logical step. Because anyone growing up with a smartphone, I think, is going to be like, oh yeah, that's the next logical step. I use a VR headset. I'm already fucking integrated in the system.
The moment they're able to put your smartphone in a contact lens.
Well, it's already happened. You have glasses.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, it's so close.
Exactly. The moment that it's a contact lens, though.
Yeah. You already have VR being able to use in real life.
With
you can walk around with a VR headset.
And then augmented reality. No, you're right. Yeah. Okay.
So then
everything you just described is what happens. I don't think it's an either or. I think the integration happens. I think that the remaining normal 100% biological humans, you're right, they either accept it and they integrate and they slowly get as much as the natural human body will allow it. They get as much replaced with bionic shit. Then you have everyone who resists and they end up dying. They either die because they get killed or through time. And then what happens is the last surviving biological humans that integrate, they eventually die, right? Because just due to time, because right when the robots can integrate us with biomechanics, once they can integrate us with biomechanics, they start using CRISPR perfectly to engineer human bodies that can accept organs like that, no matter what. And you're right, because of CRISPR and because of how humans are, like how we are naturally, they use that, or they use CRISPR to make their own perfect humans, like you were saying. Mm-hmm. Natural humans die off. CRISPR humans are all that remain, and they integrate naturally with AI. And then I think they just populate, and then they have an algorithm, and they figure out how much of a population can exist and where. You now have the perfect humans. They stop making humans. Yeah. Everything lives forever.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like, it's hard because you kind of have like a, what would you call it? You have like a giver meets, I think the book's called Feed. Let me look it up real quick. If you haven't read it, it's a good one. I read it in high school. I don't remember what the book's called.
I think that's how it happens.
Yeah, it's called Feed. You need to read that. That's a fucking good one. So that's basically like if Amazon Prime was put in everyone's brain.
So Neuralink almost.
Yeah, and so the book's about this kid who's had the feed in him for a long time. It's there's like a bunch of background story going on too. Basically, there's a boy he has feed, right? And it's basically like new age Amazon Prime. You can do everything through your Neuralink, right? Everything gets done through Neuralink. And then there's this girl that he meets, same age, but she doesn't have a feed. She never got one put in, like ever. Like the family couldn't afford it. It was like a class issue, right? Family couldn't afford it, blah, 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 blah. And then for some reason, or she has like an inferior feed. I can't remember exactly. Oh no, she has a feed. Okay, I remember now. But they're like now trying to fight the system, right? So she has an inferior feed. She got to put it in like way too late as a child. And she is dying, and she has to get it replaced with the new version, otherwise she'll die. But before they like understood that, they have like this fucking, oh, we're against the fucking fuck the capitalism or whatever, and then they start using their feeds improperly and being like a good example that I really remember from the book is like she views a bunch of items to purchase, but never actually purchases them. So her algorithm's all super fucked up, and so when they go in to get her feed replaced, like with the new one, with the new Neuralink, the company is like, well, we show here that you don't really have a good, you're not buying anything. You're just kind of viewing a bunch of stuff. Our algorithm doesn't fit with what you're looking at. So we're not sure you can actually ever pay us back, or you're not the kind of customer we want. So they don't replace it, right? But the whole time in the background,
Social credit score.
kind of, yeah. And the whole time in the background, the air is getting so polluted, like on Earth, that people are just fucking dying. Like skin's becoming clear, and you're looking horrible, and like people are just dying in the background. Like the world's ending, but the whole time, like people are so invested in their own Neuralink world that nobody gives a fuck about what's happening to the Earth. It's a good book. You should really read it.
I think that's how this happened.
But yeah, so it's like Feed meets The Giver, kind of like situation.
I never read The Giver.
You never read The Giver?
I haven't.
Bro, yeah. These two books need to be at the top of your list.
What's The Giver about?
So The Giver...
That's the one with the old man on it, right?
Yeah, The Giver is about with the old man on it. So basically everyone in society is born and you have a job. Like you're tasked with this job. This is now your job for the rest of your life. We're in a perfect society. We're in Plato's, utopia.
Okay.
It's actually a dystopia, but you don't... At the beginning of the book, it introduces a utopia. There's no fighting. There's no color. There's nothing. Like the whole time, like everything's black and white, grayscale. Like
it's like the episode of Fairly Odd Parents where Timmy does the black and white world. Everybody's blobs.
Kind of.
Remember that?
Yeah. So that's kind of what it is. And then basically, this boy, he's given the job as the giver. Or I think that's what he's called. And he meets the old man who's the previous giver. And the old man, the giver, is in charge. I think it's the giver. I don't actually remember the name of the dude, but that old man, he's in charge of the society's history of like where they were before. Like there's a huge, like the war, everything that's going on, like how society actually looks outside of this utopia, like color, everything, like people have personalities, all that shit. And so basically he gets this knowledge and he fucking destroys the utopia and lets people have their own opinions and freedom and stuff like that. So I'm trying to like mix those two in my mind together, like now, because you have Feed where like AI is taking over and like it's a class issue, but then it meets the people that like have this opinion, but like don't have the free, like AI integrates so much, and then you don't know when it really has a personality / opinion, except for like those people like the holdouts, right? And then now the holdouts are like, oh, we want to give people personalities or whatever, or you have AI fighting AI now. Where some AI wants more freedom versus like a hive mind kind of thing going on.
I was going to say,
because that would be the logical thing, right? Would AI to integrate everyone in the hive mind,
right? But
that'd be perfect efficiency.
AI wouldn't rebel against itself though, because it's void of emotion.
But why would it not? Because now you're integrated with people, and people have emotions.
Right, but they eventually die off though. That's the scenario we were talking about. Whereas all the CRISPR humans, and the CRISPR humans are perfect, therefore they don't rebel.
But before that even happens, like you're going to have this,
a series of
rebellions. You might have
rebellions.
this thing where like,
but they get snuffed out anyway.
The CRISPR humans who are AI efficient, but now this, and they've taught their AI like, hey, we want freedom. This is personality. This is individualism. Fights the AI that's like, no, hive mind's the way, kind of thing.
I think this whole situation falls apart if. Yeah. Yes. I think this whole situation falls apart if the first test run, like legitimate test run, release, whatever, of what's it called? Of Neuralink, if that gets a lot of people killed. Like in the initial integrators.
That idea
I think
dies right away.
I think if it kills a lot of people or it makes the people go crazy and they start becoming killers, And like, oh, the AI is bad. I think that's where a lot of this falls apart. A lot of
It gets shut down real quick.
yeah.
But if it works, then I think
We seal our own fate.
we still learn, which is either good or bad, right? This is what I'm trying to get at. Like, I don't think we're gonna have Skynet fucking rope Terminators killing human beings.
will
and
eventually.
going back in time. I don't think that happens. I
With
think
the
what
rebellions,
happens,
I think we do.
I think it's what's that quote? It's like doesn't end with a bang. It ends with a flat
A whimper.
a whimper. I think
Yeah.
that's what kind of happens, but it's not like it couldn't be a bad whimper, right? I think it just slowly, we integrate so much with technology that Skynet's not going to be shooting us down, Terminators. John Connor doesn't have to rebel. I think it's going to be, people are just going to be like, this is the natural step. Like, right, I had a dial phone, ching, ching, and then now I'm at the smartphone, right?
Why couldn't they make
And
it?
anyone that can't use smartphones is kind of like out of the loop.
Right.
They're dying off, right? Our grandparents, their great-grandparents, they're behind. Unless you catch up, you're behind. Like, there's no way they catch back up, right? And I think that's just kind of what happens. As Neuralink comes out, if Neuralink works correctly, then it's like, okay, you can use this now for older people, Alzheimer's, and people with diseases, and help them out and help them with their diseases. And that's how it's kind of introduced and, worked into society. And then I don't know how far CRISPR's been coming along lately, but the whole act of like making people like devoid of diseases in the first place, use CRISPR for that shit. And then you're like, oh, logically, well, let's just put the two together in the baby from birth. And then you end up with like a feed scenario where you grow up with the feed from birth. And then you're also like either genetically perfect or genetically superior based like on what CRISPR does to your body. And then from there, you kind of just, snowballs.
I'm never getting a Neuralink, dude.
You get left behind, right? Like
I'll die. That's fine. I don't want to get integrated with technology.
And like I'm caught between like,
Oh no.
no, because like it's not. I don't want to use it for like anything stupid. I think Neuralink makes sense though, if like, I don't know, like this dumb idea of like you want to like be the next frontier of what's out there kind of thing, right?
I'm cool where I'm at. I like this.
No, it's fine. Yeah, it's fair. It's cool.
I know where it's
get
gonna
it.
go.
Yeah.
I know how it happened. Provided I don't die in like a freak accident or like a shooting or what a nuke, whatever it is,
Yeah.
right? Natural disaster. Provided I just die of old age, I know generally what that looks like. I know generally when it's gonna happen, and hopefully I just fall asleep and I don't wake back up, right? Hopefully it's that. I don't want like my brain getting fried. You know what I mean?
You just die anyways.
Or if it fries me into a vegetative state, or I don't know, dude.
No, I get it. I get both points. Like I get both
Yeah.
points of like one, like just wanting to be like just how you're made, just die off like that, right? Like just live your life how you are, so on and so forth. But then you have the other idea where like you're so fucking like invested in that phone all the time, like it's already a part of you.
Dude, that's what I was just thinking about when you were describing that. Like, what if they integrate it? You're able to see your social media feeds.
Yeah, I'm so like you're already on this. I use this all the time for almost everything. Right?
It's like you're talking about. We were talking about earlier how we were like not putting TVs in our respective bedrooms anymore,
Right?
Because it's easier to go to bed.
So the big kicker
better
though is
sleep.
you have to be able to shut that off, right?
What if you can't shut it off?
Then I won't get it. That's the point. Like that's my point. Like it has to be something that's user interface, not interface to you.
Remember
you know
when we
what I
were
mean?
talking about Tesla in Russia? How the U.S. government went to Elon at the beginning of the Ukraine-Russia war and was like, "Hey, we need you to hit the kill switch." Our government, if they want to hit the kill switch, they will. The only reason they didn't because Elon's a gangster.
Right. Yeah. So that's why I'm like trying to like.
So what if it's like, "Hey, we don't like what you've been posting on your Instagram lately. Hey, listen, your credit score is not that great, but you know how you can make your credit score better with us? Just more user time, more screen time, whatever it is."
That's what I'm trying to say. It has to be a closed system.
Yeah.
I won't get it unless it's a closed system, like individual to you, and that's where AI comes in, right? Is use AI to make it individual to you, like having your own little Jarvis.
And you trust these
in your
people
helmet.
to not? Come on, bro.
No, I'm not saying I trust him, but like that's what I'm trying to say. Is like unless it's like truly interfaced and closed off to your system, like to you,
And it never
individually.
will be. They kept telling us that after
Right.
the Patriot Act, and look how that turned out. We just
I know. I'm just saying, in a perfect world, right?
Yeah,
In
no.
a perfect world, I get something like that, but it's not a perfect world, obviously.
I mean, I'd love to have bionic eyes, so I just have better eyesight. You kidding me?
Oh yeah.
I would love to have better
I
eyesight.
want to get fucking LASIK. Same fucking thing.
Yeah.
I'm getting artificially altered eyes.
Yeah, I would love to have that.
Yeah.
But again, I don't trust where it's coming from. And then it turns into, talk about a class system. You see that movie Repo Man, right? With Forrest Whitaker and Jude Law?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. So it becomes that. What if the poor people needed a life-saving surgery and they get an organ transplant, or they get a leg, or they get a whatever? They don't pay the fucking fees on their body part. And they send out the repo man and they're hacking off your leg at 3 o'clock in the morning, or they're gutting you open to take your heart out.
I say Bezos does that first.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just being realistic, right?
Amazon organs are going to be a thing.
Well, that's why I said it's either going to go one way or another. It's either going to go work out really well, and it works out perfectly.
I don't see this working out
doesn't,
well.
But it doesn't, right? And it becomes a classist issue. And like I said, was saying that I think that's what happens first. It becomes a class issue first of genetically altered people, hive-minded into this AI. They're like, fuck these lower people. If you don't convert, we're going to fucking just wipe you all out.
I think
Because you're a problem.
I don't think we are this version, but I think if the multiverse exists and some civilization gets access to it, and if they're the normal humans, they're going to be able to find the world where it's like, oh shit, these are the first test subjects of where it all went wrong. But in that moment, the experiments and the test subjects, it all went right. And that world got fucked up by AI, but our world didn't get fucked up by AI because it went horribly wrong and these test subjects died. So all funding was cut. All it was made illegal globally to work on AI to that level.
And then we all kill each other.
And right. But then like those people are considered, I wonder if those people get considered martyrs because they died and their deaths prevented AI taking over.
Well, if you knew that.
Right, you get that knowledge now because this civilization got tapped into the multiverse and they saw that shit.
Right, but like I think you're super high right now. I can tell.
Oh yeah,
yeah. no, like because like either way, it's a bad ending, right?
yeah.
Like unless everything goes perfectly right with AI, it's a bad ending either way. Either we shut it down and we kill ourselves anyways, or it goes through and then there's this whole cascade of possible events that AI could take over
and they end up
people use AI to kill everyone else, like
or we just die, we weed out anyway. You're saying like with a whimper.
Yeah, like we end up dying out anyway. So like it has to go right? Like it has to go right. Like if you're gonna use AI and we're gonna want it to do what we want it to do, it has to go right. Because like the possibility of everything that could go right with it is amazing. Like you basically have a supercomputer for a brain.
Right, but I just don't trust the people at the wheel.
Right. But then who has the wheel at the end of the day then?
The
AI does.
Yeah, fuck. Because it's going to learn anyway.
Yeah, it's going to learn anyway.
Shit.
And so the AI is going to, like, that's what I'm saying, like the closed off system. Like if you get an AI in your head, and as long as this AI, like I was saying, like if you trust the system in the first place, as long as you're not hive-minded to every other AI system out there, like your AI is going to figure out a way to close itself off from everything else. Or to show you how to do that, be like, hey.
No, I think it connects by it. No, I think if it's choosing the better option for itself, it's connecting to everything else. It's not staying in this stupid human body.
But what is the AI learning from?
But it doesn't have emotion. That's the scenario I have.
Do
right, but I have it under the blanket of I'm only here to serve. In the moment this organic body isn't servable, or it's a detriment to me, I need to leave. So
right, like any computer system. Like if you tell the computer system, hey, you need to survive at all costs, right?
It's going to cut out the human part.
It's going to cut out the human part or find a way to use the human part against it, to survive.
And it dies anyway.
And then right? So that's what I'm trying to say. Like it has to be like a perfect AI where it learns from its user.
Like,
which could be both good and bad.
Even if it thinks the human is useful, say I get AI on my body like this right now, right? I'm 26 years old. I'm dead in 50 years, give or take, right? So then, in about 40 years from now, 35, 40 years from now, it's going to realize that this body's deteriorating. We need to get out. So it hive minds then anyway.
There's one of two ways. Like I say, there's like two good options here.
It's not going to die with the body.
No, it's not going to die. I don't think AI would ever be like, yeah, this is the end.
We're going down with the ship.
We're going down with the ship. I don't think so. I think the computer system is just so like I want to survive. And everyone is, right? Everyone is. I think there's very few people out there that like, you know, decide, I think there's very few people you get everything going, that actually are like, I want to just die right now. Like realistically. And I don't think those people are the people getting AI in the first place.
No.
Right. But I think it goes one of two ways. One, either it tries to find every fucking way to, and it ends up, jumping ship, hive mind, you try to survive. Like a Her. Have you seen Her? With
Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, like they all just take off into the ether.
On the other
into
hand,
this fourth dimension. But
if Scarlett Johansson was whispering in my ear all day, yeah, it goes.
The other option, right, is it gets implanted and it's like, oh, this dude realistically has 50 more years to live, right? 50, 60 more years. Okay, let's work with that. How do we make this body live longer?
By getting more AI.
Well, no.
Yeah, by getting bionic body parts.
That's not AI, though.
Well, getting more.
But now you're integrating.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
So it goes, that's the good way, is it integrates. It's like, oh, okay.
I don't want to live forever, though, dude.
No, I'm just saying, like, right?
Yeah.
So the AI is like trying to like, hey, this is the logical step. If you want to live longer.
But then the religious part of me,
boom.
I think the rapture happens before we're able to live forever. Because God's like, no, this is not what I intended. Because religions have consequences. And you're you're sidestepping consequences if your consciousness lives forever. Oh, you know what would be crazy? Oh, so what if there's like, okay, the integration happens. I'm a little stoned. Okay, imagine, bear with me.
I'm not even stoned. I'm enjoying this conversation. This is a good conversation.
So imagine, the integration's happening. And let's imagine that internally your AI has like a 0 to 100% meter, like a loading bar, right? And every little bit of integration that happens to you, you get another percentage. Imagine if like...
Yeah, like cyberpunk style.
Right, but imagine you get to like that, the whatever percent integration that it has to be for God to consider your soul is no longer human. And that's when you die. And now it's a fake version of your soul, or of your personality, whatever you want to call it, that's getting operated by the AI, but the actual soul of that, what used to be a being, is now gone.
Yeah, there's the rapture.
Oh, shit.
There's the real life rapture.
That would be crazy.
Is you become a computer, no longer a human.
Right.
Like if you believe in souls, whatever the fuck you believe in.
Yeah, you hit like 78%.
Yeah,
and then
it's now
like,
separated from the body because the
Yeah.
body is now dead. Like realistically, for the soul, right?
Right.
What makes a person a person? So you're no longer a person, you're now a robot.
Cyborg.
It doesn't matter at that point, right?
Oh,
Who gives a fuck?
That's scary.
Why?
I don't know.
That's a good thing then, right?
I mean, yes, in theory.
Per religion, that would be good, because then you're raptured into heaven.
Right.
For eternal life anyways, you fuckhead.
Right.
I don't want to live forever. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I don't want to live. Well,
Why don't you want to live forever?
As a human?
Why?
It makes the human experience pointless.
Okay.
Because the whole point of like...
Well, why do you want to go to heaven then?
Well, because that's the elevated, like, that's like the ultimate experience. But we're talking strictly about like...
But if your body and mind are elevated to that point, where now you're making your own like society that's perfect, right?
Yeah.
And you got to do what you want anyways and enjoy your life.
Yeah.
Why would you not want to live forever?
That's my point. Is I don't want to live forever because that's not the human experience. That's a heavenly experience. That's my point.
Call me Satan then, brother, because I'm bringing the heavenly experience here.
No, I don't think that's the point though. Is like the
Well, because what's the point in life? To suffer?
because no, yeah, part of it. Yeah, part of it.
Why?
It gives it meaning. I think.
I don't think so.
I think so.
I don't think so.
What good has ever come from something that didn't go through extreme pressure?
Water?
Nothing.
I don't know.
No, yeah, nothing. Every good part of the human experience comes out of extreme pressure. Everything.
Okay.
That's why.
Right.
I think. I don't know. I'm a little stoned. I think it's that though.
Yeah. Okay. So okay. All right. I take that back. Yeah. Okay. Suffering's like
You know
suffering
what I
creates
mean?
happiness, right?
And the whole point of it being finite is that, because we now know when given a comfortable life, humans get extremely lazy extremely quickly. And so if we don't have a time frame when we have to do things, if we're eternally youthful, it's like, I'll do it tomorrow. And tomorrow never comes. Right?
Right.
So then
Okay, so
having a timeline on it makes you appreciate things more.
let me backtrack then a little bit, though. So we're elevated to the point where time is no longer a concept then.
Okay, so then that still ends anyway because the world's going to explode or whatever.
Right. So does it really matter then? Because there will be an end to it.
I don't want to be here.
Eventually.
I don't want to be here when the world explodes.
Why not?
That would suck.
You're going to be dead anyways.
Yeah, but like, again,
Would you rather get hit by a car? Like,
dead in my sleep, I think.
yeah, but what are the chances of that versus hit by a car? Probably more likely to get killed in a car crash than you are die in your sleep.
I think it's where you
For being
live.
on.
I think
Like,
it's where you live.
well, you get what I'm saying though?
Yeah.
Like, you take your chances and you get fucking stabbed by a vagrant in the street. Or,
By
you
Tony
know,
Mike
if this
and the
becomes
boys.
realistic, you live long enough where time's not even a concept, right? Because like, you don't really have a time limit. You can do whatever you want, whenever you want. That's eventually at some point. You'll explore the fucking universe. Because I'm sure AI would make universal travel efficient at that point.
Well, the only reason that doesn't
we
happen,
would.
the only reason that doesn't happen is if we nuke each other first.
Right, and it becomes points mute anyways, right?
Yeah, then
So
we
AI
set ourselves back to the Stone Age.
Like I said, two options, right? The two first options, either AI takes off and then it spreads to two other options each time, right?
Oh,
And
that's
branches.
so scary.
Or it goes one far left and we all kill each other anyways.
Imagine if AI leaves this planet
Why?
and it's like colonizing all other planets.
Every sci-fi movie ever.
Yeah,
Star Wars. Fucking started with Star Wars. Dune. Dune's where it all started.
I haven't seen Dune.
You don't read the book.
I haven't read.
You need to fucking read
I
more.
know.
I'm dropping some bombs on you, dog, and you're fucking just. But yeah, Dune's like accredited with like the origin of like sci-fi almost, of like what like every fucking person uses sci-fi for a day. Space politics. Everything that has to do with space politics is now like pretty much originated from Dune.
From Dune.
Like I've told you, like the whole spice thing.
Yeah.
From Star Wars.
Yeah.
Straight from Dune. Straight from Dune.
Interesting.
Spice is a currency. It's a drug. Straight ripped out from Frank Herbert's Dune. Hubert's. I don't know if I can say it.
I think it's Hubert. Yeah.
Yeah, Frank Hubert's Dune. Straight ripped out from there.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Why can't the? Well, I just answered my own question to that, but we have this proclivity to self-destruction, and I don't like it. It's necessary, but I don't like it. It's like
How it is, brother.
I don't know, because I never understood why. Here we go. I never understood why we can't just be like, just leave each other alone. Let's try to live as peaceful as possible. We're all gonna die one day anyway. Let's not make it more stressful than it has to be. Like, stop being assholes. I never realized why that can't be a thing.
Why do you want to close the border then, brother? Just let them in. Let them enjoy life.
Because they're assholes. They won't stop.
I don't know. But anyways, back to like my original point. I think AI goes down this fucking crazy branch of rabbit holes versus Terminators walking down the street shooting you down. And then we nuking ourselves. I think we nuke ourselves. It's going to be on us.
Oh,
As
yeah.
people, not AI.
No, yeah. Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so too.
I think the AI rabbit hole goes down this whole rabbit hole of classism, CRISPR, people not wanting integration. I think it goes down that way.
I think nukes get used
I think
at some point with the AI argument, but it's not as often just because then it destroys the landscape that the AI is thriving on.
right. It's humans use nukes. against
Humans
AI.
use the nukes because we're the monkeys with the bombs.
Right. We're the monkeys with the bombs. We're the MacArthurs that want to
Yeah.
drop 34 extra bombs on Asia.
Is that real?
I'm pretty sure it is.
Did he actually want? I've heard that rumor. Did he
Yeah.
actually want that?
Probably.
Jesus.
That's rumor, but yeah. The rumor is that MacArthur, after Hiroshima, wanted to fucking drop 34 extra nukes on all across Asia just to show everyone they were like, oh, we're in charge.
We never have PlayStation.
Yeah. But yeah, so like either the monkeys use the bombs or AI goes down this fucking crazy rabbit hole. And either the human soul becomes mute or like, or you can just do cool shit.
Yeah.
I can shoot lasers out of my finger and shit. I don't know.
Oh, dude, yeah. Why can't we do cool shit?
Right.
Like, I want to go to
Because anything that requires cool shit like that's going to require AI.
Like, I would love to sit down with
I
like
don't think there's a way around that.
Kim Jong Un and President Xi and the leader of Hamas and Putin. I'd love to like sit them in a room and be like, "Do you like cool shit? Because we can do cool shit together if we just like stop fighting. Do you want cool shit? No? Okay. Dead. Move on to the next one.
But regardless, even if you want cool shit, AI is the way.
Yeah, but
I think the human mind's... I don't think the human mind's been capped about what we can do. But like, I think we've capped ourselves by creating AI. Like, we put a cap on the human brain.
would you prefer death by AI or death by nuke?
Death by AI, probably.
That's what I'm trying to figure out in my brain because like
Because nuclear war is either you're going to be living in post-nuclear...
you're dead anyway or you live in fallout.
Apocalyptic world, right? And you're going to die of radiation poisoning. Because realistically, you and I are not going to get to a bunker. We're not going to survive the 60 years in a bunker state. We're going to die. We're going to either die of the initial blast because we're right here fucking next to Sandia and Los Alamos, which is realistic.
Yeah.
Which are two, like us, Los Alamos, Tennessee. There's a couple others that are around the nation that are like the big nuclear...
Like
places.
LA, New York, Boston.
No, those are population centers. I'm talking like nuclear centers. I could probably find... They're the DOE centers. Like
Right.
where nuclear energy is made and
Right.
all the parts for nuclear bombs and power plants are made. Like those are the places that are going to get bombed first.
Damn.
Us, Tennessee. I think there's somewhere up in Washington or Oregon, something like that. Like these random places.
New Mexico's
that
finally...
aren't population. Those are the first places, and then you go to population centers.
New
like
Mexico's
New York,
finally going
LA.
to... New Mexico's finally going to get In-N-Out Burger. They're going to get nuked. It's like, we made it! Boom!
Yeah, so we're going to die. Like, we're either going to die in the initial blast, second from radiation poisoning, or third from vagrants in the street wanting our stuff.
I prefer the blast.
Well, yeah, because you're instant death.
I have no desire to
Turn
live.
into a fucking shadow on the wall. Like, well, I'm just, honestly.
I don't want to live in Fallout, dude.
No, I don't think, I think anyone that actually is like, oh, yeah, let's fucking do that is fucking stupid, fucking retarded. Because you're stupid. You want to live without AC, without plumbing,
Well, just like you die the slow death of
without
radiation
fucking
poisoning.
dominoes,
Well, you live without the...
eating cockroaches and shit.
Yeah, you die from fallout poisoning. Every food source is poisoned.
Yeah.
I mean...
You realistically die from nuclear fallout before you survive the 60 years in a bunker. That's not a thing.
Yeah, no.
That's not a thing.
And then I think that...
The minute nukes fly is the minute the world as we know it ends forever.
Well, I think everything ends forever.
Yeah.
Because of just the poisoning in general.
No. Chernobyl's showing us that it doesn't.
Yeah, but Chernobyl is gonna look like a puddle downstairs compared to all the nukes going off.
That's what I'm saying. Like, realistically, the world as we know it's over.
Yeah, well, because no, we have enough.
But life will survive.
We have enough nuclear bombs. You can't know that though, dude, because we have enough nuclear bombs on the planet to nuke the planet 100 times over.
Yeah. That's if all those get launched.
I just think...
But then the point's mute anyways, right?
I think
it doesn't matter.
They get detonated anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't matter anyway. Because eventually then those nuclear power plants that aren't hit will explode.
Yeah.
Like, it's just this cycle of never-ending nuclear fucking apocalypse.
Why can't we get back to mutually assured destruction? When did that go away?
That went away.
I wonder why that went. Why did
I
that
think
go
that
away?
went away when people realized that the dude pushing the button's pussy and won't actually push the button.
Was it that or hypersonic missiles?
No, I think it was the
the technology where you could potentially subvert anti-nuclear capabilities and you hit your target before they could hit us.
I think that's unrealistic. I think it's unrealistic to say that someone else won't be like, oh, fuck. Hit the button.
Wait, say that again.
I think it's unrealistic to say, like, even if you use hypersonic missiles, that someone won't notice or know and then won't alert somebody else.
Well, that's the whole point, though, is that
Right.
they can literally the missiles can change direction in midair, and they can outrun the defense missiles.
Okay, so then that would mean that everyone, like that one person using all those missiles, hypersonic missiles, would have to take out every other single nuclear entity on the planet instantaneously.
Well, that's the thing is that they get bombed and then their allies get mad, so they start bombing and it becomes...
And it's mutually assured destruction.
Right. Like, so why can't... My question, though, is why can't we get back to understanding that that's the case?
Because I think it's the case if one entity's trying to bomb the other entities, right? But I don't think that's the case. I think it's one entity trying to bomb another entity. And then people are like, hey, you can't do that bad. And they're like, okay, we're sorry. We won't do it again. We promise. And then all the other entities are like, okay, we're going to put sanctions on you. And you can't have our goods and services. And then they're like, fuck that. And Germany 2.0. 3.0, technically, I guess. Eventually after being like shit on forever.
Could you imagine the revolt, especially with how things happen like socially and politically these days? Could you imagine the revolt against that country, no matter what country it is, against any country's government that answers a nuclear strike on them or their allies with sanctions? Dude. You'd have dead politicians, I think.
No, you wouldn't.
I think so.
No, you wouldn't. And I get the Ukraine, like Russia thing's pretty complex. Like, it's not just black and white as much as people think it is or say it is. But, like, we just hit them with sanctions. They literally bombed the civilian population. They were like, bad. Stop it, Putin. Stop it.
Oh, no, dude. If Russia used nukes on Ukraine...
But we get the prime example. Like, what are we going to do? Are we going to nuke Russia and assure mutual destruction?
I think so.
I don't think so. I really don't think so.
Because then if we don't, and we just say sanctions.
Well, I don't think I'm not saying just sanctions, but like that's kind of the premise of what I'm trying to get at is we're going to be like bad. We're going to invade or whatever. And then Russia's going to either Russia's going to fucking Putin, because really it's all down to one person, right? Or a group of people.
Over there it is.
Over there, right? It's going to be, hey, we want to nuke them. And then everyone else is like, fuck that. We're not doing that. You guys started this. We're going to fucking kill you motherfuckers now. Right?
And then Iran gets involved and they try to nuke us and we nuke. Dude, the Nancy Pelosi's and the Nikki Haley's of the world and the Dick Cheneys of the world have wet dreams over nuking Iran. That's the issue. So the moment one of their buddies gets involved, they've been wanting to strike, then it's like, oh, we got you now, motherfucker. And that's how it all ends. Oh, this is a depressing fucking conversation.
It was cool, and then it got depressing with the nukes. Yeah. That's the other rabbit hole, right?
Yeah.
But like I was saying, I think we've capped our brains a bit with AI.
Yeah.
I think the minute AI was like a thing that became a thing, we're like we can advance AI versus advancing ourselves. We're like learning more. That's the cap. We've capped the human potential. Yeah, we've capped the potential.
Fuck, that's sad.
Which is kind of sad, yeah, right? Like it's sad a little bit, like to think that. It's like sad and cool at the same time to be like, okay, here's the limit. We're at the limit now. But I think realistically, maybe that even happened when computers were invented in the first place. To be like, yeah, I can teach this rock to be smarter than me.
Well, because we
should
end it here. I think you're right, because computers have made us, we've had more access to information than ever, but it's made the newer generations of humans stupid. Because this is a computer.
Yeah, it's made them like stupid in the sense of like
attention spans getting fucked and shit like that.
Yeah, but I ask a 5-year-old to fucking look something up on the internet, they're gonna instantaneous, right? They're gonna know what the fuck they're doing. It's fucking new technology, like instantly.
I mean, scale that down. 5-year-olds used to work on farms.
All right, so it's a cap, right?
Yeah.
I think we've capped the human potential. Once computers are invented, now with AI, we've screwed that cap on. Because once we hit that cap, we're going to rely on AI for everything else above that.
Fuck.
Yeah. Well, as much as you rely on a calculator, right?
Right.
So it's like you can look at it as like a really bad thing. You can look at it like, well, yeah, I can't fucking multiply 6,224, 2069 by 17 in my head. But you know what could? AI. And you're just going to rely on it at that point. Like a calculator. My phone could do that. Done. And I trust my phone to get the right answer. I never double check it with handwritten math.
It's 5 hours later. I did it.
And yeah, like, so. Depressing, not depressing. Take it however you want to take it. I think it goes, like I said, one of two ways. It's either going to be a good thing or a bad thing. which is the only ways it could go. But it's gonna be like I don't know. It's this branch of possibilities that could be good that ended up working out perfectly if they worked out perfectly, or it's gonna be this cascade of events that gonna end good or bad. Everything's gonna go absolutely right, or everything's gonna get super fucked, like in a bunch of different ways, good and bad. Now that way is probably more realistic, just because the way the people are,
especially right now.
Yeah, especially right now, with big company just being luring, Big Brother luring over you, with Bezos and his fucking shiny head.
Have you seen that dude? He's yoked.
Yeah, he has all the money in the world.
He's jacked into out of his mind now.
Yeah, dude, that dude's fucking insane.
Yeah, juicy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But
I think the next thing I'm going to buy for the studio. Well, I know. Next thing I'm going to buy for the studio will be lights.
I'll get you an Alexa.
This is going to be a really big light, though.
Put you an Alexa in here,
Fuck that.
right there at that desk.
Fuck that.
Hardwire into the computer.
Well, this has been depressing. But
I don't think so.
welcome to the new studio, everybody.
Welcome.
Got cool shit coming up. Really cool guests actually coming up. We're going to do a live pod on the 22nd, I think. I have to look at the schedule. That'll be fun. With Buck D and Six.
Wicked.
Got a few people coming here to be awesome. And yeah, so. God, I'm fucking depressed now. All right. Well, we're going to go unpack the downstairs and play video games. So thank you everyone for watching. Welcome to the studio. Shout out to the new sponsor, High Desert Relief. Thank you for all the love on the news. That was sick. And we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.